I welcome you to the 24th edition of the Emirates NBD Global Business Series, organized by SPI Group. Your presence is greatly appreciated, and we hope this will be an occasion for all of us to remember. While tweeting about the event this evening, please use the hashtag GBS_insights. As you know, Emirates NBD Global Business Series seeks to inspire entrepreneurs with profound business insights from the most successful visionaries in the region. It celebrates the entrepreneurs' journeys who have reached the pinnacle. Today, we are hosting a very special guest, also known as the Growth Enabler. Mr. Ramy Jallad is the CEO of RAKEZ and RAK Free Trade Zone. Before we begin, I would like to say a few words about our sponsors. The success, reach, and impact of this concept wouldn't have been possible without the consistent support of our partners. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our title sponsor and longtime partner, Emirates NBD Business Banking, our sole automotive partner, Al Futtaim Motors Toyota, our strategic alliance partner, Dubai SME, and to all our supporting partners and guests. Without further ado, let's begin with the felicitation ceremony. Could I please request Mr. Ramy Jallad, our guest of honor for this evening, to join us up on stage? And now, may I request Mr. Sorab Loda, Vice President of Business Banking, Emirates NBD. Mr. Shantanu, CEO of SPI Group, can you please join them on stage? Tonight, we have a surprise. Moderating the evening is Mr. Shantanu, CEO and founder of SPI Group. SPI Group is a strategic performance enhancement platform for entrepreneurs. SPI's mission is to develop and contribute to the SME ecosystem in the UAE by providing entrepreneurs with knowledge, insights, inspiration, and growth opportunities. Shantanu is the publisher of world-class business magazines, including Intelligent SME, Innovation and Tech, and Robust RAK. These magazines are published in partnership with the Dubai and Ras Al Khaimah governments. Apart from this amazing series of publications, Shantanu and his team also organize the SME World Summit, the biggest entrepreneurship conference in the region, as well as the Global Innovation Summit, the largest regional innovation conference. Shantanu, over to you.
Thanks, Naz, for the introduction. Well, at SPI, we are fascinated with entrepreneurs. We love each and every SME. Every single story of every entrepreneur is very dear to us. And in this particular series, we had a total of around 24 episodes till now, out of which we had around 10 to 15 top-level entrepreneurs who started as SMEs and became a billion-dollar company. And then we had a couple of amazing CEOs. Now, when we host entrepreneurs, we have a certain story there, you know. It's easy to connect the story of entrepreneurs. It's about rags to riches. It's about, you know, how they achieve their dreams. When it comes to a CEO, however, the more I meet CEOs, I'm actually more fascinated. The reason being, in today's CEO or today's vice president, he has to actually behave and deliver like an entrepreneur. But as an entrepreneur, I can make my own rules. I can, you know, I don't have to play with any, I don't have to worry about somebody else's vision. But as a CEO, he has to play with, you know, he has to safeguard somebody else's vision, and also has to manage the compliance, the policies, and all that kind of stuff, and still deliver results like an entrepreneur. And that's what makes CEOs very unique. And that's why we have someone like Mr. Ramy, one of the most influential CEOs here, as our guest of honor. So let's give him a big round of applause. So, sir, my first question to you is, you are heading two of the big investment portfolios in Ras Al Khaimah. So can you tell us what is the vision of RAKEZ and RAK Free Trade Zone? And can you take us like the next 5 years now? What is your vision and what are you going to achieve?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First, I'd like to say a few words and thank everybody, Emirates NBD, Global Business Series, and SPI for inviting me today. It's an honor to be here to speak to you all and to give you a little bit of my experience. And at the same time, whether I'm a CEO or visionary in terms of driving two of the largest economic drivers, for our Emirate in Ras Al Khaimah. I'm sure the collective experience in this room is something to learn from as well. I'm humbled by your presence, and thank you very much for inviting me. Well, you asked me about the vision. I mean, no, it's gone bad again. But you asked me about the vision and what is the vision of our RAK Investment Authority and the RAK Free Trade Zone for Ras Al Khaimah. When I think about putting the vision together, I think about, obviously, the next 5 years, but it all means what do we do today? And what I'm building today and what my team is putting together today is actually what we think is going to happen 5 years from now. So it's all about preparation, and it's all about thinking ahead and doing the necessary development and planning to be where we want to be 5 years from now. So we are not reactive. We are attracting investment. We see ourselves as an organization that provides solutions for our investors' problems. And it's all about what our investors or what customers want at the end of the day. Customers know our business better than we do because they experience it, they live it, and we learn a lot from what they want. So my vision is being an authority that customizes solutions, that is flexible enough to attract a multitude of investors, from startups to SMEs to multinationals to large corporations, and they all want to be treated differently, but there are some underlying and common services and products that they need. But we need to understand how they operate. We need to understand how they click. And that's what I do. Our mission is to become an industrial hub. Ras Al Khaimah is predominantly known as a hub for major industries. And you'd be surprised that a lot of industry in the UAE and in the GCC actually is coming out of Ras Al Khaimah. Today we have customers from 100 different countries in 50 different kinds of industrial or industries itself. We've got combined between Rakia and RAK, 14,000 customers. So the vision is to grow, obviously, like anybody else, but to be able to customize our solutions and be in tune with our clients' and customers' requirements. That's a big thing, but it means customer centricity, efficiency, transparency, and the ease of doing business with. Today, we're all consumers of something or another, and we all go to get the best service, and we all go to get the quickest and most efficient service. And we're ready to pay a little bit more for that customization and special touch. And I think as entrepreneurs and as SMEs, you should always have that in mind, is what kind of solution you provide. And that's what drives your business. And that's what drives your competitive edge. And that's where I see, I'm talking about one component of our vision, increasing the industrial hub and being a center for SMEs, startups, entrepreneurs, where they can customize their operations and launch their businesses or drive their businesses from Ras Al Khaimah.
Now, my second question is, when every particular organization, when it grows to a certain size of yours, everything gets institutionalized. Everything has got processes, compliance, policies, and somewhere they lose inspiration, like a startup. So what do you do to retain that inspiration within your free zones, so that every employee of yours really aligns with your customer-centric strategy?
Well, as a CEO and my role is to drive the strategy, but one other very big component is to be on the ground with my team. There are two components and major components to being a CEO of an organization, and I think many of the CEOs or many of the people who lead their own organizations have to realize that it's all about people. And people are your biggest asset. And forgive me, and a lot of you might think these are cliches, but business is simple. And if we go back to any kind of business, people drive the business. Even if we go into the automated world and we go into the IT world, it'll still have people behind it, and people are the ones who are creating it. So I truly believe one of my leadership styles, or my many leadership styles, and I don't believe only in one leadership style, but the underlying component of any of my leadership styles is how I drive people, how I motivate people, how I'm on the ground with people, how I know what they are doing. And I've got to know what they're doing sometimes more than they know what they're doing, because I need to drive that company forward and advise them and direct them. So it keeps them motivated when I know and I'm in tune with their business and what they do. It keeps them motivated when you treat them and you empower them and you engage them in the decision-making process. There are some times when I have to step in and make the decisions myself or the board or my senior leadership. But there are many of the decisions that drive the company forward have to come from your people in a large organization like that. But the intricacy of my role is to get that out of them and for them to come up with those ideas so that they can own that idea and they can feel that they are contributing and they are developing the company along with the whole team.
Every organization, so you have a vision, you have a mission, and then you have core values. How do you manage to communicate these core values? First is, what are the core values you are binding thousands and thousands of companies and people together? So we would like to know what are the core values, and how do you make sure that even the last person knows about those core values?
Well, we're talking today while we're going through a very big transformation. These two companies and these two organizations, we have over 600 employees today, and communication, similarly in retail, when you say location, in running an organization that large, it's all about communication. So we are embarking on communication programs right now, where whether it's our corporate communication department that disseminates the information, but I myself make it a point where I have an open door policy, I have a transparent policy. I'm always telling the team and meeting with the teams and giving them the vision and giving them what we want to do and telling them about developing our guiding principles together. And today, we're developing that as we speak, revamping our brand. But it's what I mentioned earlier on. Our guiding principles are easy to do business with, value for money, transparency, and customer centricity, to name a few. But these are the most important ones that actually I keep telling the team and everybody in the organization, if it's not value for money, if it's not customer centric, if it's not efficient, and it's not a core, then it's something that we shouldn't get into, and it's something that we shouldn't be doing. And those are the things that are homed in and communicated, and they drive that message in everything that they do, even when it comes to recruitment, even when it comes to their day-to-day work or their decisions that they have to make. They've got to think about those guiding principles. And my role is to ensure that they are being applied in every facet of the organization.
So suppose you are interviewing someone for a leadership position,
Yes.
right? And you have two candidates
Yes.
who have equal, similar resumes.
Yes.
And how do you make up your mind that this is the one I want to work with?
Well, there are many factors, but one of the things is when I look at the candidate, I always look at what they can do for me 3 years or 5 years from now. I don't hire them for today. And so competencies may be the same, education level, experience may be the same, but that passion and drive that they have And that solution-oriented attitude is what you look for. You can get people who, excellent CVs, but you can tell those who provide you with solutions and those who provide you with just the challenges, but without providing the solution. And that usually comes from a motivation and a drive that you can see in the person's passion in what he's done and what he wants to do or what she wants to do. So that's really a determining factor. And I think in my experience, it's not always about the experience